to another episode of our little dark and twisted book club, where we sit down to read Goodreads reviews of different books to figure out, you think you know where I'm going with this, but no you don't. This episode is purely for entertainment purposes and for us to have a giggle, because based on everything was said in the Fanfiction Anonymous book club, there is no way in hell either of us are gonna want to actually read this book, but we are bound to have a giggle. So today we're talking about Zodiac Academy by Peckham and Susanne Valenti. I've got the review in front of me, my water, let's get this party started. I'm a Gemini. Oh, so am I. Impulsive, curious, headstrong. Yes, yes, yes. A twin. No. Heir to a throne I know nothing about. Also no, just a human, unfortunately. And as it turns out, I'm Fae. Wait, there's fairies in this? Oh, okay. But of course, there's a catch, of course. All I have to do to claim my birthright is prove that I'm the most powerful supernatural in the whole of Solaria. That reads a little bit like Winx, but I'm not mad about it. I'm sure, technically, that's true, as I'm the daughter of the Savage King. Imagine your dad being called the Savage King and you're like, oh, I'm so surprised that I'm the heir to the throne. Like, bitch. But the bit they didn't put in the brochure was that every single Fae in this kingdom would claim my throne if they could. Yes, so would I. I would give anything to be a little princess. Who wouldn't? The school they've sent me to is both dangerous as shit and one hell of a party. I wish I was joking. This is the book Synopsis and they wrote hell of a party. Vampires bite weaker students in the corridor. The werewolf pack has orgies in the Wailing Wood at every full moon. And don't even get me started on the dark and twisted ways the sirens use their powers. Sorry, this is in school? Are these minors? What the? This is not what was happening in my school. How my sinfully tempting cardinal magic teacher hosts detentions that leave people needing therapy. Calling your teacher sinfully tempting is a red flag, child. I'm just gonna put it out there. Classes are totally interesting if you manage to live through them. And that Gemini star sign I mentioned, it now determines my elemental magic and affects my destiny. Winx! So learning astrology is essential if I'm going to beat down my classmates, which is actively encouraged, by the way. Do they have circle fights like in a ring in the middle of class? What the hell? My biggest problem is the drool-worthy dragon shifter who has his eyes on my throne. Is this enemies to lovers? Because if so, I might change my mind and actually pick this up. He and his 3 psycho friends are determined to make my life hell. All I've got to do is survive. But fate might have other ideas. 3 friends. Do you know what I'm thinking? 1 girl, 3. Yep, sorry. Keep it PG. Damn it. Why couldn't I have gotten a letter to Hogwarts? Oh, girl. That sounds like something a 14-year-old would think. This is a dark, bully romance. Don't go expecting a sweet school for magic with friends around every corner. Fae fight for everything they own. And Zodiac Academy is a cutthroat school for students aged 18 plus. Oh, thank goodness it's 18 plus, because I was getting a little bit concerned there for a minute about, like, at school. Like, you know, just putting it out there. There's no Dumbledore here to save anyone's ass. And Lionel, a crux. A crux.
We'll give Voldemort a run for his money in the evil dictator category. So hold on to your Stardust, broomsticks not required, and get ready for a bumpy ride.
I can't with all the Harry Potter references, genuinely. Like, that's so cringe to me. It's not that I don't like Harry Potter, it's just like, come on, you don't need that. Now, before I say anything and get into spoilers, I want to put a big trigger warning out there for this book. Non-consensual acts galore. No one mentioned this anywhere, not in the reviews or in the summary, anything. Beware. I picked this book up because I saw the my tongue hurts. I picked this book up because I saw the author post a TikTok comparing it to a steamy adult Harry Potter. Yeah. It's like from the synopsis we got those vibes, don't worry. Well, I really like all those words, so do I. I also really like astrology, and the reviews here on Goodreads are generally good. And y'all led me astray. I hate that because we trust Goodreads reviews to give us an honest opinion on books, Stop turning Goodreads into book talk where everything is amazing. Like, give me honesty, people. This is what we're here for. This book is literally the two main characters being violated emotionally, physically, and sexually over and over for the entire runtime of the book. There are basically no other plot elements other than the next abuse that the Vega twins have to suffer through all the hands of the evil men. Without knowing this going in, this book was shocking to me from the beginning to end in the vile content that was being constantly spewed at me. The actions that the romantic interests take in this book are not just dubious consent, but non-consensual in the text. The main characters will literally tell them, no, please don't do that. No, please stop. No, please leave me alone. And they never do. Listen, I love a good CNC, okay? Your girl has read enough to know what she enjoys. Bully romance after reviewing Bad Intentions. We both know how I feel about that. But this is a line I do not enjoy crossing. Y'all are in the reviews here saying, bully romance this, bully romance that. I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum, but the actions of these characters, without knowledge of the tropes of the genre, are abusive and disgusting. I'm a little bit confused reading this review. Do the twins individually find partners? Because all of these reviews are talking about multiple bully classmates that are hot, but they're not clarifying which of the twins is into them. Are both of the twins into them?
Is this a sibling romance bonanza?
I'm a little bit concerned, and I'd like some clarity on that, please. I feel like they're trying to establish a low point, so once the girls are strong enough to fight back, point to know, the girls literally become resigned to the abuse about 3/4 of the way into the book, just accepting that this is how they should be treated until they're strong enough to stop it. No one deserves to be treated like this, but Jesus Christ, it is painful to read. I'm also not going to be reading 2 or 3 lengths of the book full of abuse for one girl boss moment. Also, spoilers here, the climax of this book brought tears to my eyes for how horrible it is to these girls. Seth cutting her hair and then them just almost fully drowning the other one. This isn't sexy or fun. I'm down for some bad boy stuff or like banter, but like attempted murder, if I was going to continue this series, I would literally never forgive these fucking assholes. I would want them dead. It would feel better if the twins like genuinely turned bad and bullied the guys and then like tried to kill them, so give them a taste of what they want, and that sort of establishes an equal playing ground. And then it's a lot more realistic that they both have reasons to forgive each other and just like couples. Harry Potter is obviously a huge inspiration here. One of the things that made and makes HP so inviting to readers is the world building and sense of escapism that the books foster. The world building in this book is shallow at best, laughable at worst. And that is why we're reading this review. These characters' lives are a living nightmare, so the escapism factor is a big fat 0. They literally have almost no fun or ever feel any happiness. No one is at this place to help them. Why would I want to be there? We're about to enter a very spoiler-heavy area, so just be fair warned. The authors are obviously not American, but our main characters are supposed to be from Chicago. They could not be bothered to use the American spellings of words and even use a bunch of British slang, which is like very silly. Kind of along this, why does Diego have to use one random Spanish word every sentence? Oh, also, if you're a manga fan and reading this, is Diego a nymph or just extremely heavy-handed misdirection? I feel like if you're not bilingual, you think bilingual people just blurt out every other sentence a random language in their native tongue. But as someone who's from Portugal, no, it's usually like, I know the word for this, and I can't remember the word in Portuguese or in English, so I just go, what do you call the elbow of the leg? If you're an author or you're just trying to write a bilingual character for any other reason, that's it. Your brain just blanks. There is nothing there. The amount of times the characters snarl is comical. How do you even snarl? I don't know why I envision it as kind of like a wolf going... This is gonna be in the internet forever, isn't it? Then again, I would say growl and snarl are very close together in the way that I envision it in my head. And given that these are werewolves involved, I'm assuming we're talking about a wolfish snarl. The world building of the Fae and the different orders feels like a way to justify non-con stuff. It feels like the authors wanted the non-con stuff in there and then wrote the orders to justify the actions. I know the author said this was a dark bully romance, but just to put it out there, I've read a lot of dark romance and non-con was never ever involved. Dubious consent maybe, but it was always perfectly clear right from the get-go. Even if it is essential to the story to have non-con there, what? You need to say that. I know I make a lot of jokes about using like trigger warnings as like a checklist of fun stuff, but they exist for a reason. Not explicitly saying that is doing everybody a disservice. The names of the professors are so stupid, LMAO. Like, people have names. They aren't always hyper-specific to the role you want them to play in your book. It seems ridiculous that they all have names directly related to the element they teach, when we know that every other character just has a normal-ass name. So just to give you a little bit of context, the werewolf teacher is named Professor Canis. The earth teacher is called Professor Rockford, and the fire teacher is called Professor Pyro. It's like a children's book, you know, when you're just trying to name the characters something that the children will remember and understand. Except we're all adults here. Oh god. I think I might actually have a cry soon. One thing I want to say is that I actually like Tori and Darcy, but there is not one other likable character in this. Everyone else is either the literal scum of the earth or just annoying. Tori and Darcy have two friends, one of which is revealed halfway through to the book to be lying to them. Still don't know which one yet, but I'm sure there's a reveal coming up in another book. Literally, who is who? Having two main characters that are twin, and then 5 romantic interests, exactly what I said. So confusing. I couldn't keep anyone straight until like halfway through. Also the fact that each main character has 2 love interests. Why? What was the reason? It's like they're twins, okay? And so everything they do must be parallel. I'm assuming that was the logic. I hate it. Orion, the professor, feeding on Darcy non-consensually feels like especially icky to me. Literally by the book abuse, and there are no rules at this school. If there are no rules at this school, can't the girls just kill these motherfuckers? Same. That would actually feel quite pleasant by the way that this is going. My big takeaway is that this book is presenting a very niche thing that, if you're into, can be great, I guess. But it should be more upfront about the fact, because if you're not into it, it is fucking horrible from start to finish. Remember kids, consent is sexy. Well, considering everyone in this book seems to be an asshole sexual assault galore, and the teachers are just a-okay with it, this feels like a totally non-acceptable book for me, and I will not be reading it. But hey, you might enjoy it, in which case I'll drop a link to it in the description. If you like this format for these videos, please let me know in the comments down below so I'll know to keep making them. And this week's shout out goes to Flora Pal, who said these videos were really fun and the reviews were interesting. I hope you enjoy this one.